My name's Daniel Neihoff. I'm going to start out with my angriest song and work my way down from there. So I promise I'm not an angry person, so don't hold this one too much against me. Sold my soul to the company store before I found out what I was working for. 'Cause what they paid me wasn't worth a dime. Just staying alive feels like hard times. I guess they thought it wouldn't do much harm if a few mountain folks lost their farms. So they packed up and left us high and dry. Even the mountain had tears in its eyes. And that's how the Smoky Mountains got their name. And hey, it's been hanging around here for an age. So when you see that misty top, you'll know why. 'Cause what you'll see is the Appalachians cry. They turned our mountain into mud, with tears and sweat and miners' blood. They worked that mountain till it died, poisoned our land with all their lies. When they found a cheaper way, they threw that mountain top away. Smoke rose up from the blast, till they say that smoke still lasts. And that's how the Smoky Mountains got their name. That haze has been hanging around here for an age. So when you see that misty top, you'll know why. 'Cause what you'll see is the Appalachians cry. Our union finally made a plan. We'd meet that company gun in hand. We'd make those bastards understand. And the smoke from that day stained our land. That's how the Smoky Mountains got their name. And haze has been hanging around here for an age. So when you see that misty top, you'll know why. 'Cause what you're seeing is the Appalachians cry. I like to start with the hits. If I had any, then I would start with those, but that's as close as I've got. I love songs that tell stories, you know. I love stories and being able to share them with people, and especially stories that mean something to me, stories that are personal. And so that first song was about when I worked in the coal mines in the early 1900s. This song is about when that's right, true stories only, yeah. This one's about when I fought in the Civil War, so. Well, he penned a letter back in 1862 when battle lines cut through the North and South. It said, "Dear Mother, I'm dreaming of the day that I get to make my way back to that house. You know I miss you, and I miss Father too. But there's somebody else I can't leave out. So if you talk to brother, tell him that I love him, although I think he chose the wrong side. But I won't hold that against him. I hope God is with him, and I pray we both make it home alive. And miles away, there was another soldier like him, but in a different color uniform. By a lantern light, he wrote his own letter on a tiny piece of paper, slightly torn. It said, "Dear Father, do you recall the time that I didn't have to fight in this damned war? And if you talk to brother, tell him that I love him, although I think he chose the wrong side. But I won't hold that against him. I hope God is with him, and I pray we both make it home alive." It don't matter who they're fighting for, they're just praying that they both survive this war. If they make it home, there won't be battle lines. They'll greet each other, arms open wide. And that's why they write. If you talk to brother, tell him that I love him, although I think he chose the wrong side. But I won't hold that against him. I hope God is with him, and I pray we both make it home alive. They're both praying that they make it home alive.
Some of y'all may have caught me in my lie of, working in the coal mines and fighting in the Civil War. I did not actually do those things, but I did watch a PBS special about them, and so I'm basically a historian at this point. I went to the school of Ken Burns. We got any PBS fans out there? I mean, this is a folk conference. I know my audience. So I was a big PBS fan because I was also poor, and so we had 5 channels when I was a kid, and that was only when my brother was holding on to the antenna outside. So it's kind of a sad story. We had great reception, but he never got to see it. So, but I used to love watching Mr. Rogers, because Mr. Rogers taught us all how to love. He taught us how to love everybody, no matter who they were, what they believed, what they looked like. I loved watching Bob Ross make a masterpiece in 30 minutes, and he didn't have to see a picture to do it. He just pulled beauty out of his own mind. But my favorite part, being a poor kid from Western Kentucky, because believe it or not, there is even more Kentucky west of here. My favorite part was at the end of every program, whenever they said, "Made possible by viewers like you." Because that meant there were other people like me out there learning those lessons. So this is my tribute to PBS. Someday I hope it becomes their theme song, because I'm still a poor kid from Western Kentucky and I need those royalties. But I grew up on public television. Bob Ross and Mr. Rogers, my addiction. Too poor to afford habits,
So when I'd need a fix, I'd twist those bunny ears until the picture came in crisp. And it was good night, Austin city limits, 1,000 miles from nowhere, Kentucky. Those telethons I wish I could have given half of what came through that TV screen. When I felt alone, they knew just what I'd need. And they'd remind me they're reviewers like me. And I learned my imagination is a place, a hideaway if I need to escape. Well, I'd ride a big red dog and call him my best friend. Slide down the spectrum to the reading rainbow's end. And it was good night, Austin city limits, 1,000 miles from nowhere, Kentucky. Those telethons I wish I could have given half of what came through that TV screen. When I felt alone, they knew just what I need. They'd remind me they're reviewers like me. And if I'm ever needing a reminder about life before my britches got so small, that antenna in the box of misfit wires convinces me to cut the cable off. It's still good night, Austin city limits, no matter where this crazy life may lead. Those telethons I wish I could have given half of what came through that TV screen. When I felt alone, they knew just what I need. And every time I get lost, they can find me. They remind me they're reviewers like me. Oh, yeah, they remind me they're reviewers like me.
Thank you very much, y'all. This next song is one of my favorites because before I give PBS too much credit, I gotta give my grandma some credit. Because my grandma was a very special lady. You know, I know they say nobody's perfect, but those people didn't meet my grandma. So she was a just amazing woman. And I'd go over there and she'd have arm in a sling and leg up in traction. And I'd say, "How you doing, Grandma?" And she'd say, "I'm just having the best day ever." And I was like, How are you having such a great day? And she just understood love in a way that very few do, because she knew every day filled with love was a day worth living. She taught me a lot about love. This is one of the lessons she taught me. There's an old wheelbarrow in Grandma's garden that she only ever uses for dirt. Just a rusty old bucket with 2 wooden handles, but it sure has done some work. 'Cause if it wasn't for that one-wheel wonder, the garden wouldn't have got far. It's just as important to use the right tools as it is to work hard. Because a hammer's made for nails and a shovel's made for holes. Hate is made to break and love is made to grow. And if you want to build a brand new world, there's just one rule. Make sure you're using the right tools. Well, I snapped a shovel right in half, trying to cut through roots. Took a claw hammer to a concrete wall, left with my ego bruised. Well, if you try to do the job wrong enough times, you'll realize real quick that it ain't worth keeping your pride. Take all the help you can get. Because a hammer's made
shovel's made for holes. Hate is made to break, and love is made to grow. And if you want to build a brand new world, there's just one rule. Make sure you're using the right tools. My grandma's up in heaven now looking down, and I'd like to think that every single time she hears me play this song, she's got a big old smile on her face. And she's lighting up the sky just like she lit up every room with that same smile. And if I'm really lucky, and if I'm really hitting it just right, maybe she's saying, well, this is just the best day ever. Because a hammer's made for nails, and a shovel's made for holes. Hate is made to break, and love is made to grow. And if you want to build a brand new world, there's just one rule. Make sure you're using the right tools. Make sure you're using the right tools. Thank you very much, y'all. Wow, man, just blazing through songs. All right. Well, since I did my grandma's song, I'm gonna do a song about grandpas too, because, you know, I gotta make sure I keep it balanced. But I don't have a whole lot of songs about grandpas because I didn't have one until I was 25. You know, I never got to meet my grandfather. But my wife, whenever I got married, I inherited one of the most amazing grandfathers you could ever ask for. He was 97 years old. And at 97 years old, there was not a person who had ever met him who didn't love him. And I know people who haven't even made it to 30 who can't say that, you know. He was pretty special. He kept a garden all the way up until the day he died. Drove his wife into town for dinner. Maybe shouldn't have been driving some of those times, but he was able to make it, you know. He was a special man. And if you wanted to see a life worth living, he was the one that I would have taken you to. So this is his song for Eugene. Stronger than any drink, he ages like whiskey, getting better as every year goes by. Yeah, he's seen peace and war, but won a whole lot more. And he still believes that there's an end in sight. Yeah, he found love just once, and he held on to that love for his entire life. He taught me how to live, to stand strong and forgive, and showed me wrong from right. He spent 90 years showing what a man can do. He built a legacy and family to pass it to. And if you want to see a life worth living, he's the one I'd take you to. 'Cause he's 90 proof. And if you tried to tell him how great a man he's been, he'd just smile and say he did the best he could. How's he make it seem like it's so easy to live a life so good? 'Cause he spent 90 years showing what a man can do. He built a legacy and family to pass it to. And if you want to see a life worth living, he's the one I'd take you to. 'Cause he's 90 proof. inside of hard times, courage in the midst of fear. And seeing how he spent his life has taught me how I want to spend my years. 'Cause he spent 90 years showing what a man can do. He built a legacy and family to pass it to. And if you want to see life worth living, he's the one I'd take you to. 'Cause he's 90 proof. He's 90 proof.
Thank you very much, Joe. Well, thank you so much, David, for having me. And do I have time for one more song? Is that all right?
I don't think these guys have heard Ghost.
Ghost?
He's got till 1.
Oh, I've got till 1. Okay, cool. All right. Well, I tell you what, I'll do one that's probably the happiest song that I've got. Just because, you know, I know things can get heavy, and I try to make people laugh as much as I make them cry, but sometimes I err on one side more than the other. But I was out in Utah, and I feel like people have been hiding Utah from me, I swear. Like, I got out there and I was like, this is the most beautiful place, and I didn't have any idea. And I was sitting inside my friend's backyard looking at these white-capped mountains and these beautiful green trees, and these birds were singing. And I thought to myself, if I can't write a happy song here, I'm the most miserable bastard in the world. So this is the song that came out that day, listening to them birds and getting a little jealous.
If I could be anything in the world, I think I'd be a little bird. Sing a new song every day without having to remember the words. Folks would all marvel at my melodies without ever knowing what it is I sing. If I could be anything in the world, I think I'd be a bird today.
I don't know if I can whistle as good as Ted, but I'm trying.
Oh, if I could live anywhere in the world, I think I'd live in this guitar. I'd listen to every song you play, but don't hit the strings too hard. Make a house under the saddle, although sometimes it rattles. For some reason I'd still stay. 'Cause if I could live anywhere in the world, I'd live in this guitar today.
And it gets a little weird.
'Cause if I could have any power in the world, I think I'd want to read dogs' minds. Although I could see that possibly I might just regret it sometimes. Oh, but it'd be worth it in those moments when I get to hear them say that if they could be anything in the world, they'd be a good boy and stay.
Well, I'm gonna stay on the happy train since I did a song that was my attempt at doing something Roger Miller like. Here's my tribute to Roger Miller. It's better if I put a capo on.
Well, these suits on Music Row would probably down. Today's corporate radio sure wouldn't play 'em. But his platinum vinyl records are still hanging. There's still folks like me that are gonna sing 'em. Singing hoo-la-le, all live long day. Chug a lug, cut a rug, but don't ever chug away. Do what I did, but it ain't do what I done. Drop a needle on it, it's still just as fun. If you ask me, I say it's killer diller, but they say there's no room for Roger Miller. Snap beats, repeat, sounds just like the last one. Like country music's trying to pull a fast one. But if Roger was around, we'd look right past him. We'd sing those old songs that will outlast him. Singing oodle-lolly, on live long day. Chug a lug, cut a rug, but don't ever chug away. Do what I did, but it ain't do what I done. Drop a needle on it, it's still just as fun. If you ask me, I say it's killer diller, but they say there's no room for Roger Miller.
So we were writing this song. We got to this point, and we thought until our thinkers were sore. And the words just wouldn't come. But you know what you do when the words don't come in a song about Roger Miller? I think you do. So ski beep beep ba dee la lee la beep bop ski da dee lee lee la hoo ski la beep bop 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 dee da dee lee 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 hee bop dee ba ski la beep bop dee bop bow ski la bop dee la ski la dee la hoo. We're singing hoo-la-lay, how to live long day. Chug a lug, cut a rug, but don't ever chug away. Do what I do what I did, but it ain't do what I done. Drop a needle on it, it's still just as fun. If you ask me, I say it's killer diller, but they say there's no room for Roger Miller. Yeah, they say there's no room for Roger Miller, but I say there's some room for Roger Miller. Thank you very much, y'all. Thank you. Thank you, David.